Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Claytano, and today we're going to be talking about the recent monster balancing and improvements patch announcement that Comptos just came out with on August 28, 2017. I held off on making a video about it. I didn't post it right away because I wanted to kind of take a second to process all the changes that were being made and kind of formulate my own opinions on how I think the games will be affected by them and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And let's just get right into it here. First off, it says, hi, it's comp to us. Okay, thanks, it's comp to us. And looks like it's with a capital S, which I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't know, but it's a capital S in comp to us. Okay, here's a walkthrough of the monster balancing work we will be carrying out soon. We've been paying close attention to user opinions. Please note that the actual balancing patch may differ from the details below. The balancing patch will include in the next update. All right, so first off, we have the Magic Knight Light. Okay, so let's talk about the balance between this. So Sweet Revenge, it's a passive skill. It's the one that kind of revenges, obviously. No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't revenge, but removes beneficial effect with a 75% chance. It's been nerfed, guys. It's been nerfed to 35%. 35% chance, so it's been decreased. As soon as I saw this, the first monster on the list, Magic Knight Light, decreased, nerfed, debuffed, I actually got really excited to see the rest of the patch updates. I'm not typically so excited about the patch updates, but as soon as I saw that they were nerfing a monster, I was like, okay, this could be potentially something really good. And then I looked down at the second one, and it was the Dice Magician Light. And it's the third skill again on the Dice Magician. Increases the attack speed of all allies for 2 turns, was decreased to increase the attack speed of all allies except yourself for 1 turn. Also added effect, that's a nerf effect, stuns yourself for 1 turn after the skill is activated, ignores immunity/resistance. So you're 100% stunned no matter what for 1 turn. Makes the attack bar of all allies and enemies changes to 0, increase the attack speed of all other allies except yourself for 1 turn, and stuns yourself for 1 turn with this effect can't be resisted and ignores immunity. So unlike Praha's third skill where she heals herself and everybody else and falls asleep, that can be non-existent if you have immunity on. With Tableau, 100% you're gonna be ruined, because I feel like they did that because of, you know, people just run Tableau on will. It's not going to really affect them. They just don't get stunned, and it's not really a huge nerf. So first off, though, let's talk about these 2 units here. I'm going to try to talk as clear and concise as possible, so that way I don't make this video super long. But these 2 units have been dominating real-time arena. And right off the bat here, you see that they're trying to make changes to real-time arena by adjusting these 2 monsters specifically. Now, I say adjustments, but I really mean nerfs, because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's definitely a nerf, obviously a nerf. Removes a beneficial effect with 75% chance down to 35% chance. That's a really hard buff hard nerf on Iris. 35% chance, guys. That means, I mean, she's still usable. I would say Iris is still usable, definitely still usable, but she's a lot less overpowered than she used to be. And you may see her I feel like Iris now is balanced. She's not OP, she's good in certain situations, and she's balanced. 100% still a good monster, okay? Not dead. Now, with Tableau, he got screwed over a little bit more so than Iris did. Obviously, Dice Magician Tableau was broken before, and he needed some sort of nerf. I feel like this is a good way to do it. They might have gone a little overkill on the nerf. I don't think it was that overpowered to give him to screw him over so much. The 1 turn attack speed still makes sense for Tableau. You just need it for you know, once the attack bars get set to 0, it gives yourself a chance to outspeed the other team and go first. So that's still really all you need. You just don't get it on yourself. So that way you can't just like have Tablo go over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, he still can with his dices or his die, but it's not as broken as it used to be. It might have been a little overkill on the nerf, but I still agree with it as well. But again, those two monsters, 100% RTA monsters, and immediately nerfed. First two monsters. I am happy about the nerfs. Obviously, I don't have those two monsters, but just nerfs in general, I feel like it gives me new hope for Comp to us, understanding that, okay, they're not 100% money hungry. They know that they're going to lose sales on LD scrolls because of nerfs and not having super overpowered LD monsters. And they might not even lose that much revenue on LD packs from this. But at the same time, like, they care more about the competitiveness and balance of the game. And I'm very, very proud of Comp to us for doing this. I would still like to see a Samath nerf. I haven't seen it in this whole patch, but I would still like to see a Samath nerf. I think he's way too overpowered for Arena, and he needs some sort of change. It's too much right now, in my opinion. But let's move on real quick to the unicorns. Pretty much every unicorn skill has a increased damage by, you know, either 11%, 31% for the fire one, 25% for wind, 31% for the dark, on all their skills there. I agree with that. I think water one was fine, but he just kind of got a extra buff just because he was in the family. But everybody else, you know, just damage buffs. I think the fire one definitely needed that 31% because he was a little bit lackluster out of all of them, right? The fire one. So overall, nice buffs to the unicorns. And then there's the Leica nerf. So I'm sure you guys have already discussed Leica and how much they changed him. So it inflicts damage that's proportionate to your attack power on the attacker with a 50% chance and stuns the target for 1 turn. That's what it was previously. Now it's going to be counterattacks the attacker with a 50% chance when you're attacked with the Dragon Might skill. Deal 75% of the damage when counterattacking. Decreased. I like how they put in parentheses decreased. This means, hey, nerf. This monster was nerfed. And basically it got rid of the stun. It added a dot to your revenge, and it nerfed the actual damage that you do by 25%. So instead of just doing a normal skill 1 attack, it's 75% damage of that. As far as the damage is concerned, I don't know if that's necessarily a nerf or not, because you're going to do probably more damage on your skill 1 than you were doing based on your normal attack if you're building with crit damage anyway. So I think you're going to do more damage on your revenges. It's going to be tough to say right now, but maybe very similar. I don't think that's going to change. But the main thing is that when he counterattacks now, he no longer has a chance to stun the enemy. They completely got rid of that mechanic on Leica, and I feel like that was a little harsh. I don't think Leica even deserved a nerf at all. I think he was actually fine the way he was. But I mean, it's one of those things where you want him to be good in certain situations, but you don't want him to be broken in every single match. I feel like Leica got a little bit screwed over in this one, but that's just me. I don't think it's going to make him completely unplayable. I think he'll still be okay in certain situations, but not definitely. I don't know. He might end up being a storage guardian. We might have to have some fun with him before he changes. I'll do a Leica tribute video before we say rest in peace to Leica in RTA. But then the Dragonite Light. We'll go through this a little bit quicker here as we get through the rest of them. But those are the 3 main ones: the Leica, the Magic Knight, and the Dice Magician, the ones I want to go over. But for the Light Dragon Knight, Jaeger, previously gains immunity against inability effects and increases your attack power by 50% each time your allies become incapacitated or died. That means like stunned or die. And accumulates up to 5 times. Changes to gains immunity against inability effects and increase the attack power by 20% chance. 20% each time your allies are attacked, accumulates up to 10 times. So instead of having your stacks go quicker, they're lengthened out amongst 10 times, but theoretically those stacks are supposed to stack up quicker because you're not waiting for your enemy to get, or your ally to get stunned or die. They're just, if they get attacked, you're good. Now, the only thing that's a little bit weird about it is you can't really tell if it's like a buff or a nerf, right? It's just a change in mechanics. So a lot of people use Jaeger for RTA mainly in countering teams with a lot of CC like Varad and things like that. So now, I mean, he's still good for it. It's just going to take him longer to stack up. He's going to be better late game, and kind of it's not as reliant on the stuns as it is just, I mean, you could put him in there against any team as long as people are getting attacked. He's good to go. The next one is another nerf. Okay, another nerf. I like this one as well. It's the Recon nerf. And basically now is going to have a 30% chance to counterattack with collapse. And it deals 75% damage when counterattacking. So instead of dealing the whole 100%, it's decreased by 25%. That's really all it is. There's no other changes. So instead of doing a lot more damage, he's doing a little bit less. I think that's nice. I really do think that's nice. Recon is somebody that you can see soloing entire teams, put on Vampire, he just never dies. It's kind of ridiculous. Especially Lucians. I mean, I don't ever Lucian into a Recon because of that reason. You see some extra buffs for like ninjas. Han got a little buff as well, increased the attack bar by 25% to 30% if the attack lands as a critical hit. Fire had an interesting one as well. Offsets the incoming damage that may cause you to die with a 50% chance and increase the attack bar by 50%. Change to offsets the incoming damage they may cause you to die and increase your attack bar by 50%. Yeah, effective activated only once in a turn. It's only activated once, basically. So if you keep continuously attacking him and he does narrow effect, that's it. That's done. He's not going to activate it again until he gets another turn. And they basically nerfed it. That's what it's saying. It's a nerf to the Fire Ninja. Kind of irrelevant, but might make TOA a little bit easier, I would assume. They gave a little buff to the Water, Wind, and Light. Slicing Winds decrease the attack bar by 50% now instead. Ninja Stars does damage proportionate to attack power and attack speed. I like that because a lot of ninjas, I mean, it makes sense. You know, it's a freaking ninja. You're supposed to be doing a lot of damage and being really fast. Makes sense. The Occult Girl buffs were pretty cool. Fire, Wind, and Light Toy Knight also decreases the attack speed for 2 turns as well. That's cool. So it stuns and decreases the attack speed. So definitely a nice added effect there. Makes it a little bit easier for TOA because Fire, definitely a TOA goddess, and now it's even better with the attack speed decrease. The Fire Guardian Angel goes to 100% chance to decrease the attack speed and inflict continuous damage for 2 turns. So she officially has 2 AoE attack speed reduction skills. Again, just making it even better for TOA. Hard, mainly. Wind one, decrease the attack bar by 30%. And Elemental Light decreases the inflicted damage on the ally from water, fire, and wind attributes by 20 to 25%. So a little buff there. You get an extra decreased amount. And then there's the Water and Dark Taunting Strike Vegamons there, and increases damage proportionate to the attack power to increase damage according to the attack power and your max HP, which is really cool because Vegamons are supposed to be built with a lot of HP. Same thing with the Fire, Wind, and Light one / waves. increases damage according to your attack power and max HP. Each attack has a 50% chance to decrease the target's attack power, so a little buff on the accuracy as well. Nice. So maybe better for raids on the Darien as well, maybe. Who knows? And then there's the Fire Mermaid, Burning Hearts. Silences now for 2 turns. Instead, now sets back all target skills to max cooldown. So a little Zeros skill there for Mermaid. Again, just for 1 monster though, not AoE, of course. The other big change was the Wind Mermaid. And it now has a 100% chance of removing the beneficial effect of the enemy target with the first hit. Now, previously it attacks the enemy target for 3 times and removes beneficial effect with a 50% chance with each attack, decreases the defense for 2 turns, and increases the skill cooldown by 2 turns. So now it attacks the enemy target 3 times to remove the beneficial effect with the first attack. So now no longer does the second and third skill remove beneficial effects. After that, the decreases the defense for 2 turns and increases the skill cooldown by 2 turns with a 50% chance with each attack. So really, if you miss the first one now, you're kind of screwed. It's meant to be a buff, but at the same time, it's kind of not. You just have 1 chance, which it's a higher chance, obviously, but with resistance checks, it's still not 100%. But overall, you know, a decent change. We'll see how she kind of plays out. Cichlid or Chi-Chi Child. We have Undyne, the fire one, inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns. If the attack lands as a critical hit, decreases the attack power for 2 turns with the attack lands as a critical hit. Okay. Decrease the attack power for 2 turns. So instead of doing continuous damage for 3 turns, just decrease the attack power. That's all the changes there. The Polar Queen, okay, Fire and Light Polar Queen's got a little bit of a modification, shall we? So previously, it creates a shield that's proportionate to your level to protect all allies for 2 turns and weakens the attack power of all enemies for 2 turns with an 80% chance. Now, it got rid of the shield, so it just attacks the enemies to decrease their attack power and increases the enemy's chance to land a glancing hit for 2 turns with an 80% chance. So no more shield, but it makes them glance. And I actually really like that change. We don't have enough AoE glancing monsters, and putting it on the Polar Queen, I think it's nice. The shield, I think, on the Light Polar Queen, though, was relevant for RTA, and they kind of nerfed that a little bit, I would say. But overall, that's meant to be a buff. You know, it is. It's meant to be a buff. I would say the glancing is kind of more RNG than the shield would be. So it puts more RNG into it rather than like certainty, I would say. Then the Fire Polar Queen again gets another skill buff as well. So Touch of Mercy now. Targets that have immunity against sleep will be inflicted with 50% more damage, guys. More damage to Brandia. Now, she is still pretty irrelevant everywhere else in the game except for like R5 and the maybe like the Rift raids. But overall bossing though, where you're gonna have a lot of, you know, debuffs on a specific monster, Brandia is gonna be doing a whole lot of damage on Touch of Mercy. So we'll definitely test her out as well. I have one of her, or I have a couple of her. So we will test out the damage on R5 once this patch gets released. I will definitely make sure to show you guys that as well. And then there's a couple of changes here. Skill AI of some monsters have changed. Homunculus Light AI. Okay, AI is kind of dumb. You know, just little modifications here and there. No need to really go over that. So there's actually Fire and Light Rift Dungeon AI. Has been modified according to the skill balancing adjustment. Skills will now be used depending on whether fire minion exists or not. Okay. Now, the skill level of some monsters have changed. The Cold Girl Fire, the increase in the harmful effect activation rate has been modified to increase in the amount of inflicted damage, so more damage for fire. A Cold Girl Polar Queen now as well. The increase in the amount of shield has been modified to increase the amount of inflicted damage. Okay, perfect. And all right, so then we have the Mermaids that are now support type. They're going to be more suitable for the support type. Okay, that's good. So maybe more HP, maybe more defense, maybe more speed and things like that. That would be cool. The Fire and Wind Mermaid, though, they no longer awaken into accuracy. So this is going to make them a little bit harder. I would say this is why I don't really assume that this is necessarily a buff for the Wind Mermaid, because they don't awaken into accuracy anymore. They now have that little change in their awakening effect, so that way the skill modification detail is the chance of removing the beneficial effects will be increased by 50 to 100%. Burst the mana bubble that deals damage to an enemy and removes beneficial effect damage, and this skill increases according to your max HP. So that's on the Fire one. The Wind one instead enhances the Air Shield skill modification. Cast a shield, which is equivalent to your level, 20% of your max HP. That one's kind of cool. So that's more along the lines of Molly almost. That one's really cool. I like that one a lot. You get a little bit more accuracy for the Fire one on the mana bubble as well. But the Air Shield one, where it gives the shield as well, that's cool. That's really cool. Removes all harmful effects on a target and casts a shield, which is equivalent to 20% of your max HP for 3 turns. All right. And then at the very, very end, they throw in a couple different modifications here. One for the Dark Werewolf, Joltin. And now this passive effect will now be activated if you land at least 1 critical hit among all hits, regardless of whether your last hit lands as a critical hit or not. So that's going to make TOA hard, Joltin stage, even harder. I have a problem with that stage personally. And the Apicion Priest, Rena, guys, to end it all off. Rena has actually now been buffed as well, so we might see a brand new stall meta coming out of this. Maybe not. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But I think it's funny how they buffed Rena, which is kind of random. Basically now, if you land a critical hit on her at all, she's gonna be popping her shield. Pretty, I don't know. We may see a stall meta come out of this. But we'll see. We're going to play around with a lot of these monsters. Again, like I said, stay tuned for the Laika tribute video. Unfortunately, he may turn into a storage guardian. Again, none of these stats are official just yet. Final words, I do agree with almost all the updates that Compt has made. Unfortunately, though, where are the buffs to the monsters that really need it? Where's the Vanessa buff? Where's the Daphnis buff? Where are the Samath nerfs? I wasn't expecting a Light Panda nerf, although I was hoping for it. I can't expect a nerf on a Light Panda. You know, I want it, but I can't expect it. I would hope to be able to expect a nerf on Samath, but it looks like they did not give it to us. And these are monsters that I don't have that I want buffed, and monsters that I do have that I want nerfed. Okay, like I'm trying to be as honest and unbiased as possible. This is stuff that needs to happen in the game, but this gives me hope from Com to us, seeing them nerf 4 monsters, completely just mess their life up, guys. This messed their entire life up. I'm super happy as well in this situation, just because Magic Knight and Dice Magician, I'm just going to call them Iris and Tablo because that's their name, and Laika and Rakan were huge counters to my Artemio. whatever the fuck it is. And now I'm probably not going to have to deal with them so much in RTA anymore. And I can't wait for the Light Paladin because that's going to have some cool skills to pair with my Artemeal as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have your opinions about the skill patch, I'd love to hear from you. These are just mine and how I feel about them. But overall, I think it's a good patch. A good patch. Overall. All right. Thank you guys as well. Again, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's going on, Soup? It's Claytano. Be sure to subscribe for more content every single day. If you missed yesterday's video, you can check it out here. And if you're in need of some free crystals, you can click on this other link instead. Also, if you want to stay connected with me personally, go ahead and hit me up on any social media platform at Claytano, and I will see you guys tomorrow.